What's up guys, this is Pink Across. While I normally try to keep my videos informative rather than opinionated, there is a problem arising in the tier that is too significant not to address, so today we're going to talk about that, and that is Avalugg. So for those of you that have not been playing in High Ladder, this has pretty much been dominating the scene lately. You see it on most teams. Most endgames devolve into Avalugg versus Avalugg battles, but we'll go over that later. Why is this a problem? So these are the main factors, right? Look at this defense stat. This combined with Curse or Iron Defense, the main sets are going to be Curse with 2 attacks and Recover like you see here, and you will see some Iron Defense Body Press variants. So those are the main two that you see, but with this incredibly high defense, both of those sets are extremely offensively threatening. The next thing that's important is that a lot of the special attackers in the tier, things like Gholdengo, Dragapult, Enamorus, Heatran, Raging Bolt, Darkrai, Superior, Walking Wake, are all one-shot by Avalugg after a Curse into an Avalanche or Earthquake. So a lot of the special attackers actually, I mean, they can take it down to Sturdy, but they can't actually finish the job, right? And then you've got things like pairing with Healing Wish to bring it all the way back, and then you kind of just lost your special attacker for nothing. And of course, you can't really attack it from the physical side, because with bulk like this, that's going to be a completely fruitless endeavor, and you're just going to get your whatever physical attacker you're trying to make go at it will just get destroyed. You're going to do 0 damage. Even King Gambit, super effective hits, can't really do very much. And it's been very much an over-centralized. Like, if you look at this team, this does not look like what an OU team should look like. We've got Healing Wish, Tachyon Cutter, Iron Crown to try to take down Avalugg that don't have Terra Steel or Fire, which is pretty popular on them, but in case they don't, this can threaten that. But this doesn't look like what an OU team should look like at all, because the entire team is pretty much based around Avalugg. It's entirely Avalugg centered, and then just a King Gambit here at the end, and that's not healthy. Now, if it's something like Great Tusk, which I know people are going to say, Great Tusk has a lot of usage too. What's the problem with that? Well, it doesn't. It's not a problem. Great Tusk, though, is a support Pokemon. You know, it has bulk up sets, but they're not incredibly overwhelming like a Curse Avalugg set is. It sets hazards, it knocks off. It's mostly there for support roles, whereas Avalugg is here to sweep. And that's really the distinction between that unhealthy over-centralizing role and the more healthy one. So, and there's often this kind of toxic game where Iron Crown and Avalugg interactions, because if you have a Terra that allows you to beat other Avalugg, like Terra Ghost Iron Defense sets to beat other Iron Defense sets, or Terra Fairy to beat Body Press, and like you see that sometimes, and resist, opposing Body Press. But if you have a Terra type like this, you won't be able to take on Iron Crown. But if you do have a Terra type like Fire or Steel to take on Iron Crown, you'll end up weak to Earthquake. So it usually the game will end up coming down to just 2 Avalugg. And if you have the right Terra, you'll be able to beat it, and you kind of hope they don't have Iron Crown. So I got a replay showing this example. Recently was doing some test games with SRN, trying to find a way to leverage these sets best, and let's take a look at that. Okay, so right off the bat here, if you look into this matchup, we both have, of course, the classic Avalugg and Enamorus core, Avalugg plus at least 1 Healing Wish user. I've got the Iron Crown. SRN opted to not go for the Iron Crown. I guess he ran into too many Terra Fire, Terra Steel, and you eventually just think, well, probably worth another slot more. Anyway, though, I go for the Iron Head right off the bat. If you have a chance, even if it takes multiple flinches to take out an Avalugg, you take it. You always take it. King Gambit, I don't see being that good this game, so I decide to just go for the flinch again. Unfortunately, the Recover coming off. At this point, I decide, this is not happening. So I go out into my Iron Crown. I'm hoping he's not one of the Terra Steel variants, and unfortunately, the Terra Steel comes out. So I'm going to go for the Tachyon Cutter, get decent damage, I guess, and I'm just going to fall to a Body Press. So I decide to go into my own Avalugg here, just get this started, because I am Terra Fairy. So this is the good thing. I did have a fortunate matchup here. That Body Press actually still doing a shocking amount of damage, but I'm able to Curse, and I go for the Recover here, because I want to be immune for, or have this Sturdy active for whatever special attacker comes in. Gholdengo comes in. I know I can live this. Make It Rain comes off, Sturdy activates, and I'm able to one-shot here with the Earthquake. And this is kind of the problem. This is what you see, right? So, oh, he sacrificed a special attacker to take down my Avalugg, right? Well, okay, so I go into Latias. I knew there the Earthquake was coming off, and I'm freely able to just go for the Healing Wish. And just like that, it's completely back. This Garchomp +2 means nothing. This Avalugg will easily tank a hit. Yeah, +2 Earthquake doing 38. That's absolutely nothing. Garchomp just not threatening at all here. And the Swords Dance is going to come off. I'm going to recover. And I anticipate another Earthquake, but I don't really have to play. That's the thing. This Pokemon has so much defense that you don't actually have to think most of the time against a physical attacker. Even just 1 or 2 curses will do fine against +4. So as you can see there, just pretty much 0 damage. Dragapult comes in. I go into Alomomola. Went for the Fire Blast there, I guess expecting the Kingambit switch in, which is fair enough, but that is going to give me a Wish. So that's the thing, I really like Alomomola paired with Avalugg, because that can give it Wish support, so you don't have to let the Alomomola drop. And I'm max Spadef, so that's going to actually be Specs damage. So I can get my Avalugg healed up here, very nice. And I'm going to go for, I believe I go for the Avalanche here, try to take it out. Okay, no, I go for the Curse, so I did correctly predict the Kingambit would come in. And let's see, so the SD comes off. I go for another Curse. Earthquake is likely to kill here. Let's see, and you'll see what happens here. So I get flinched. And you can see +2 Iron Head from Gambit, not even 3-shotting this Avalugg. And I get the Earthquake off. Unfortunately, a Mineral. It looks like a very bulky Kingambit, but shockingly enough, this is a Supreme Overlord boost again, but I can live 3 of these. And unfortunately, I get flinched again. So at this point, I decide to go into my own Gambit. And I am Iron, I am double stab, so the Terra Steel Avalugg walls, but I guess SRN here was maybe afraid of the low kick, so he decides to stay in with his own Gambit, and I'm able to just take it out next turn. So you kind of can see the strategy here. The game is revolving around how we play our Avalugg, how we can get them in, how well we can leverage that incredible defense. And of course, right, his comes right back in. I'm able to go into my own. I'm thinking I can take this opportunity to heal up. And as you can just see, the absolute massive damage here. But I decided to go for the Healing Wish. Get my Avalugg in, heal it back up, and I can go for the Curse. Now, Dragapult can't really do much to me here, is the funny part. Shadow Ball, not going to do much, and I can just kill it with an Avalanche. Right, so this is the consistent problem. Physical sweepers are setup fodder, special Pokemon die after a Curse, and even if they are strong enough to bring it down to Sturdy, the Sturdy is just going to be there walling. Now, since this is Specs and Amorous, I decide to sack off my Kingambit here. I can get a little extra damage with Sucker Punch, and just going to drop to the Moonblast. So at this point, I know my win route. I don't want to risk the prediction of Moonblast versus Earth Power, so I just decided to go for the Healing Wish. I know Avalugg can tank this and have enough health to survive any hit from the opposing Avalugg, and I'm able to go for the Avalanche. So this is why we want this Pokemon banned. So if this game, the rest of this game wasn't enough to convince you, at the end here, you'll see how most games go. So SRN going to go for the Earthquake there. Even a critical hit didn't kill my Avalugg, so the speed tie was not a big deal there. And the Curse comes off. And I'll save your time with this game a little bit. We can skip ahead, but we Curse up. Let's see here. Yeah, we just Curse. You can see Curse, 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 Body Press. A bunch of those. And here we go. So this is the point, right? I get my first critical hit. That's the first big deal. This is about to come down to a PP stall war. With a bunch of, +4 defense Avaluggs like it usually does. Go for another Avalanche. And yeah, this is kind of how OU looks now. So if you don't want this to be the future of the tier, I highly recommend you contact the OU Council, and let's try to get this thing out of here. I certainly don't want to play in a tier where this is common, and at the end I get lucky and actually get a crit. So if I didn't get that here to finish off the game, potentially this I could have been PP stalled. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is April Fool's Day. Let me know how long you thought I was serious for. I'm curious to see. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.